Mind Your Health, Staying Well with RJ Keisha. Mind your class would mean monitor your class, that everything is going just right. With you, we want you to mind your health, monitor your health so that you know everything is going just right mentally, physically, emotionally for yourself and your loved ones. Today, we're going to move into a space of NLP and find out how can NLP really help us. We've got somebody who's a master NLP trainer who's going to take us into that space of understanding. Let's go ahead and meet him. Welcome. This is episode 3 of Mind Your Health, Staying Well, and I hope that is exactly how you are, staying well with your loved ones. And that is my wish for you, and I hope you're going to be able to pass on that wish to everybody that you interact with. Now I'm going to invite somebody who's been working on himself and on this gift that he's been nurturing over the last decade. I had the opportunity to meet up with him and actually study with him over 10 days 10 years ago. That sounds good, doesn't it? But doing the basics of NLP with Father Richard McHugh, and those were phenomenal, blessed 10 days. I did not pursue NLP, but our next guest did, and he's moved on into the space of master NLP practitioner and also Gestalt therapist, and he's been training practitioners all across the world in different countries, and today he stopped here at our series to share with us about NLP. So welcome, Anil Thomas. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thanks a lot, Keisha. And when you say you didn't pursue NLP further, I think that's not right, because you're using the gift of communication to let people visualize through their radio sets a world that you want to show them. And I think you are in many ways a master NLP practitioner, because the L in NLP is linguist, and you're using the linguistic approach so well.
Thank you so much. Well, I'm going to hold on to that and savor that compliment. But right now, I want to ask you. I've had such a long break from NLP, and for a lot of people who are watching right now, they don't really know what NLP is. So can you share with us the basics?
Well, NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. It's the impact of language on the nervous system and the experiences we have. It's a set of presupposition. It's a toolkit with which we see the world outside. The world that we see outside is only an extension of the world that we have inside. So whether you see joy outside, it's because there is joy inside. Whatever you see outside is a creation inside. So that is NLP. And well, from NLP, we've moved on to neuroimmunopsychology to know that how our language impacts our nervous system and how that affects the immune system and how that creates health in the biology, in the business, in relationship. And the health of all these aspects of our life is completely and directly proportional to the concept of self that we have up here. And instead of working anything outside, the one place to work is here. I'm sorry.
Yes, so you're actually saying that the way you think can determine the way that you see the world outside of you. That is awesome.
So true. Yeah, there are things that are beyond your control, BMC, and there are things that are under your control, UMC. If you're focusing too much on the BMCs, you are working on stress and anxiety and coming to a state of things being beyond your control. Yes. But imagine if you could now focus on things that are under your control. Imagine the kind of hormones that you're now releasing in your body vis-a-vis the stress hormones which you would have released otherwise if you're focusing on BMC. It's like this, if the world outside, what's the color of this world outside? It depends on what the light is. You can wear a yellow glass and you can say, well, the world is this. It's up to you to decide what's the frame you want to see the world with. Is it a frame of gratitude? It's a frame of inner strength. It's a frame of confidence. It's a frame of I am safe. Or is it a frame of I'm under abuse, I'm under attack? What's the frame you're using right now in this moment to see the world? And that's the difference that creates the difference.
So go ahead and put on a frame that's going to get you into a better feeling place.
Yeah. And I think that's what makes all the difference. When you feel good, that feeling creates the healing. It's the experience that is more important than the thing. It's not the 10 crores that you have in the house. It's the feeling that you get knowing that there are things that you can do with the 10 crores. It's the
Wow.
feeling that creates the healing. So when the moment you step into stress, anxiety, you are releasing cortisols, you are releasing hormones, which is going to compromise your immune system. And you know what happens with a compromised immune system? It doesn't go to a place that you want to belong.
Yes.
Whereas on the other hand, if you don't choke it, if you let the free flow, it's gonna, your thymus is gonna be great. Your T cells are gonna do the job. Remember, have the memory over there. The bone marrow B cells, which is gonna release, is gonna be awesome. Your immunology, your immune system is gonna be so amazing. And imagine what you can do, be, and even have with an immune system like that.
So you're actually saying that sometimes, even if you don't really have the 10 crores or even a crore, or if you, but if you feel like you do, or if you feel like you're safe, or if you feel like you can still do the things that you could if you had the
Yeah.
10 crores, then you're in a much better place.
Yeah. My teacher used to tell me, you don't get what you want, you get who you are. It's what you become is what you attract. You don't attract what you want, you attract who you become.
You
So what are you becoming right now? Are you becoming cynical? You're attracting cynicism. If you're becoming critical, you're attracting more criticism there. What are you becoming in this moment is what you will attract. It's
So
not what you
attracting
want.
self-confidence, attracting love, attracting joy. I'm going to give all of that out because that is
Yeah.
exactly what I want to give out.
Because you can never give what you don't have.
Yes.
How much ever you take an orange and you squeeze it, it's not going to give you apple juice. It's only going to give you what's inside. So when stress comes, when pressure comes, what are you giving out? Are you giving out criticism, negative comments? Are you giving out negative attitude? Are you giving stinking foul behaviors? It's because that's inside you. You don't blame stress for that. You don't blame external situations for that. You take responsibility and say, well, I'm giving out the orange juice because the orange juice is within me.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So
So,
work on what's within, not without.
so can you take us on a couple of minutes of an NLP journey where we can actually hold on to something right now, tangibly, something that we can do on a day-to-day basis?
So I'll take a case where a client once comes to me and says, I want to work on my relation. And I say, working on a relationship is a position. They also come and tell me that I want to work on my leadership. I want to be a better leader. A better leader is a position. A better relationship is a position. I want to know, what are you currently doing in that relationship? I want to know, what are you currently doing in that leadership role? Because doing is within your control and position is merely fantasy. If you can work on the doing, you can work on the being.
Could you take us through a small little journey? I know you said about um, a couple of minutes where you can actually get everybody who is listening right now to travel a small NLP journey with you and see if you can get into a feeling place.
Great. So let's all take a relationship that you really want to work. Could be with your spouse, with your parents, with your children, with your family, with your office, anywhere. Just take a person, a particular person, and imagine if you could communicate what you wanted clearly to the other person, and if the other person could seamlessly communicate to you. What a space that would be, where both people can coexist and create at the same time without feeling threatened or the need to attack at all. A space where two different ideologies and ideas can exist, and yet they can create differently and together. Imagine what happens in the family space now. Imagine what amazing communication we can send to children, because we need not to compete to create, and we can create just by our very existence. People focus too much on the position rather than the creation, and that takes away creation. What can you be today in that relation? so that you can create more, and together, so that another 5 years or 2 years from today, you can look back and say, we made it this far. And when we have wrinkles, each of them should tell a story, because people who tell stories rule the world. You can gently open your eyes.
Well, I'm hoping that everybody who's tuned in walked that small path with us right now, made tangible feelings happen in these couple of moments, because the way I'm feeling right now is I feel like I can actually hold them. I'm feeling blissful and I'm feeling relaxed and content. I think that's the word. If there was a wish for everybody I could, besides staying well, if I would wish that you feel that feeling of contentment as well that I'm feeling. I'm feeling just relaxed.
And safety. And
yes.
safe. It's a feeling of safe space, knowing that I'm not competing, or I need not compete, and yet I can grow ahead with my goals. And I'm just as important as you, and my needs are just as important as yours. Yeah, and that space of existence is bliss. That's healing. That's the beginning of healing. And that's the feeling, if you have to take a check of your T cells, if you have to take a check of your IgAs at this time, you know that it must have spiked a little, because you worked on your hormones by shutting your logic system. We worked on the ozone layer just by sitting indoors. We worked by sitting indoor. We just let more birds come out, not by doing, but by the being.
Beautiful. Anil, you've added so much beauty and creation to this time that we spent together. Thank you very much for joining us on Mind Your Health.
Thank you so much, Anil, for joining us today. And I have one of your quotes here, actually, which says, "Can you believe in a future that you cannot see or experience with your senses yet? But you have thought about this future enough number of times in your mind that your brain is literally changed to look like the experience has already occurred." Well, thank you so much, Anil. I'm loving those words, and I'm loving the fact that you have joined us here today in this session of NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, and I'm hoping that your mind is now showing you that there is so much more that you can look forward to and create it for yourself. This is our episode of Mind Your Health, Staying Well with RJ Keisha. Please like, subscribe, and of course, share this magic.